Have you ever thought about why we don't get as many box sets as you think we would? In today's mega physical media topic, we talk about what has happened to all the box sets out there, go over the pros and cons to box sets, and then, of course, where I want us to go in the future with movie box sets. So let's talk about it. First, to talk about why I don't think we get as many box sets as one might initially hope. And to me, this all goes back to distribution rights in different studios, and just it's difficult to put out titles for a certain category. For example, if you want an entire director's filmography, well, just imagining the licensing rights because that director probably has worked with plenty of different studios, not just one studio, unfortunately. Now, if it was one studio, we'd probably get an entire filmography box set. Let me give you an example of where we run into the problem with multiple studios. I mean, one of my favorite directors of all time, you got Alfred Hitchcock. So we've got a couple of these nice volumes here from Universal of some of his Universal movies. But we're not going to get all of his movies in this kind of style because, once again, Hitchcock worked with different studios. So you think we're going to get North by Northwest in there? Maybe, maybe not. Now, that one was done by MGM, and it did come in the Ultimate Collection box set, which was cool, but I'm sure there was a licensing deal and agreement in there to allow that to happen. Will that happen with all of Hitchcock's titles? Probably not. Another director example, my favorite director, Steven Spielberg, the GOAT. Once again, this is put out by Universal, so you got his Universal movies in here, but do you have all of his titles, like Saving Private Ryan? No, different studio, right? So it makes sense. You're just going to get the one Universal Studio titles, not the other ones out there, which kind of sucks, right? Because it would be awesome to have a whole complete collection of these directors' filmographies. And that goes the same with actors. You think about it. Hey, Jim Carrey, you'd love an awesome big Jim Carrey box set, but it would have to be done by different studios. You're not going to get every Jim Carrey title ever made because, of course, he's an actor that worked with many different studios. Same with like an Adam Sandler, worked with many studios. You're not going to get a complete Adam Sandler collection. Once again, yeah, you can do licensing deals and agreements, but oftentimes studios don't do that. It's more rare than you think, and especially to get from more than say two studios, you want to get three, four, five studios involved. That's almost impossible. But I mean, it would be awesome. Don't get me wrong, it'd be super cool. But it just goes back to those distribution rights, what companies want to do working together with all the licensing. I mean, we've gotten some amazing box sets before, which I've been shocked by, like the Friday the 13th box set, because that had multiple studios, I believe, involved. Or I don't know how Scream Factory pulled out that miracle of a box set, but they did, so good on them. But that is just so rare to get something like that. And I don't see that really happening that much anymore. So yeah, kind of a bummer, but it makes sense why we don't get as many box sets as we normally would think. And not only that, usually studios only want to release box sets of major franchises, ones they think are going to sell. So they'll do their most popular franchises, but a lot of the other kind of franchises that are forgotten about usually won't get the box set treatment. And that's just kind of unfortunate for collectors. I really want to get some of these amazing titles to the 4K quality format, having a nice box set. It would be great for us, but once again, right, the studios, the money talks, so it just isn't going to always happen the way we might want. Now to talk about some of the pros and cons to getting box sets, because I'm a big fan of box sets. Some of the major pros to me is, first of all, you get to save a lot of space on the shelf. To me, that's really important, especially if you're limited on shelf space at all. So a great example of this is, of course, remember that Alfred Hitchcock Ultimate Collection I talked about? I mean, you get like 15 movies in here, some TV show episodes, and look at the spine here. You're really not taking up too much space, which I love. I always try to save space as a collector. More space I have, more places I have for other movies on the shelf. So to me, saving space is really important. So I love box sets for that reason. Also, the price, right? You're saving money overall getting these movies in a box set. If I would have bought those Hitchcock titles all separately, not only am I taking up a ton of space on the shelf, but they would cost a lot more. I think I got that box set too on like a discount day on Amazon, and it was like 70 or 80 bucks for 15 Blu-rays and of course the TV episodes. I mean, wow, that is a great value. I will save money where I can too. So I love box sets on a budget. That's just kind of how I roll. Now, I know there are some cons out there that people bring up because not everybody loves box sets. I'll try to mention the cons right here. One con is that not everybody wants all the movies in a box set, right? Maybe you don't love all those Hitchcock titles and you only want a couple, so you want to buy them separate. I totally get that. Same with another franchise that I think is a really popular, obvious one to mention, but it's going to be the Indiana Jones movies, right? I love these steelbooks right here and having them separately. I wanted to get all the first three. They do have the fourth one, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I didn't really care for that movie, so I didn't want that one in the collection. So I'm glad I didn't have a box set with that one in there too, just because I probably wouldn't watch that one too often, right? Just not one of my personal favorites. Some people may love it out there, but I loved having them separate so I could just get the first three and then proudly display those on the shelf. So I get, right? That can be a con to box sets. Sometimes it's better to have them individual slipcovers or individual steelbooks. I totally get it. I totally understand. And that to me definitely is a major con to get everything in a box set form. Also, not only that, sometimes, and I had to look at the notes for this, that's why you saw me glancing over there, but this is an important point too that sometimes not everybody talks about, and that is having to take a box set off the shelf. Depending on the size of the box set, it can be a little bit of a hassle, whereas an individual movie, it's pretty easy, just grab it, you take it off, right? Well, some box sets, like that Friday the 13th box set, is massive. I love it. Gorgeous artwork. Fantastic. You got all the movies in there. But to try to get a movie out of that sucker, sometimes it's like you got to almost take the whole box set off. You got to try to like dangle the movies out, but then some of them start falling out. You got to put your hand there so not all of them fall out. You get the one you want. I mean, and like sometimes it's so like tightly packed. It's hard to get them out of that box set. So, whoo, there's definitely some issues with a big giant box set for sure. And just how to display it on the shelf sometimes too. Sometimes they stick out pretty far and you can't really display it as you normally would. So you got to try to find a spot on top. Then you got to start stacking stuff. And then you feel like there's an earthquake, everything going to come crashing down on you. So yeah, there's definitely some issues with the box sets. But I think I did a little fair assessment there of all the pros and cons. But you guys let me know that in the comments. Now to talk about what I want to see in the future from box sets out there. Of course, I want more box sets. Yes, give me lots of more box sets. Upgrading things to 4K would be stellar. And you may think back to my thumbnail. Why did I select certain box sets to be on my thumbnail? Well, those are box sets that have just generally irritated me. Let me go through them just real quick. First of all, that Rocky box set. You only got 4 movies in there. That was not the complete collection. I hate that. So I returned mine. I'm just waiting on a full collection, Rocky 1 through 6, which hopefully they do. But I hate when they do, I guess what you call half box sets. Just try to milk some money out of you. Next, talking about artwork with box sets, right? That Indiana Jones box set that first came out was so plain on the artwork. It just looks so weird. That's why I loved when they came out with these steelbooks. The artwork, the theatrical posters just looked a lot better. So let's take pride in these box sets out there, people. Come on, if we're going to do a box set, let's go all out like we did for the Friday the 13th Scream Factory one. Let's put some gorgeous artwork on there to really sell it. I would love to see more of that kind of really cool commission type of artwork and just awesome designs. I mean, just give us something that's really cool and unique and that stands out. And then some other ones that really kind of irritated me because I felt like they weren't really transparent. We got the Superman 5-film collection. That's not 5 films, that's 4 films. If you're going to tell me it's 5 films on the box set, you better give me 5 movies, not 2 different versions. That does not count as a separate movie. I was expecting Returns in there. Returns is not in there. To me, that is false advertising. I really hate that with box sets as well. And then just general consistency with these box sets, right? Like for the Halloween movies, right? We got a Halloween, we got the 90s, the 2000 ones with 6 to Resurrection, right? 3 movies in there, and that comes in a box set, which is cool. I'm fine with that, right? But no, I would have rather have a box set with all of them, 1 through up the Resurrection, or at least have a box set option for those first 5 titles, right? Because it's like we have a box set here on the shelf with 6 through 8, but then the rest are standalone, no box set. It looks weird. It looks off. It's not consistent at all. It's just bizarre, okay? And I get it. They probably had like licensing agreements. They're trying to sell, both Resurrection and 6. They just don't want people to get H2O. I get it, but come on, give us at least some consistency here, some transparency, some better quality box sets. I mean, can we get the Rambo treatment for more box sets in the future? What I mean by that is a nice big steelbook box set that just looks gorgeous, that fits the theme of the movie. Then you got the individual steelbooks in there that are nicely in there that you can easily take out, that just looks so cool. The artwork is phenomenal. I want the Rambo treatment for more movie franchises out there. Can we get more of that? We've only gotten that a few times with a handful of franchises. I think we deserve that more. Why didn't Rocky get that treatment? Rocky's a major franchise. I mean, this is just absurd out there. So can we fix this, studios? Can we get on this train of really amazing box sets and do that for all of our Can we do that? Is that so difficult out there? But there we go. This totally turned into a little bit of a rant right there, but let me know in the comments below. What do you think of box sets and why we don't get as many? And when we do get box sets, why aren't they always stellar? Why aren't they always fantastic? What would make the perfect kind of box set style for you? What do you want to see in the future too? Let's have those fun movie discussions down below. And if you love collecting physical media just like me, make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can keep you entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics.
Is he talking to me?
He's talking to you.
Is he talking to me?
Let him talk, make him talk.
And if you enjoy these physical media topics, check out another one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.